Sorry for that. Slight glitch with my tablet. So good afternoon and welcome to our midday briefing. We are today Monday, the 13th of November. Let me start with a short update to the President's agenda this week. President von der Leyen will receive Dr. Sultan Ahmed Al-Jaber, COP28 President-designate and United Arab Emirates Special Envoy for Energy and Climate Change, for a meeting with the College of Commissioners today. This meeting will follow today's meeting of the College with the Court of Auditors. Je vous rappelle par ailleurs que le haut représentant Josep Borrell préside aujourd'hui un Conseil des Affaires étrangères à Bruxelles qui a commencé ce matin. Les commissaires Janez Lenarčič et Oliver Vaheli y participent pour la Commission. Le commissaire Wopke Hoekstra sera également présent pour la discussion sur le changement climatique et la COP28. Donc ce sujet du changement climatique et de la COP28 sera évidemment à l'ordre du jour de cette réunion. Et à l'agenda figure également l'agression russe contre l'Ukraine, la situation à Gaza, en Israël et dans la région, les derniers développements concernant l'Arménie et l'Azerbaïdjan et la dimension de politique étrangère de la sécurité économique. Par ailleurs, les ministres discuteront également du changement climatique, je viens de le dire, excusez-moi. Après la session du Conseil des Affaires étrangères, les ministres de l'UE participeront à la réunion ministérielle UE-Balkans occidentaux avec les 6 ministres des Affaires étrangères, des partenaires des Balkans occidentaux. Le haut représentant présidera également cette réunion et le commissaire Vaheli y participera au nom de la Commission. Une conférence de presse avec le haut représentant suivra le Conseil des Affaires étrangères et donc je vous invite à réserver vos questions sur les affaires étrangères pour cette conférence de presse. En tout état de cause, Peter est là-bas et non ici avec nous aujourd'hui pour le Midday. Voilà pour nos annonces d'aujourd'hui. Nous pouvons passer à vos questions. Questions? Yes, please.
Yeah, hello. I think this goes out to Adalbert. It's on the reform on modernizing the rules for driving licenses in Europe. We have a quite vivid discussion on that in Germany right now. So I would like to know, could you please specify another time for us what exactly the plans of the EU Commission consist of in the regard of testing the suitability of driving of elderly people, senior citizens? And are there any medical checkups, mandatory medical checkups? Are they part of this proposal or are they not? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Albert.
Thank you very much. So, indeed, the Commission has proposed a modernization of the rules on driving licenses in the EU with several objectives, especially to improve road safety, but also to help with the shortage of drivers that we have in the EU. And when it comes to the rules applying to senior drivers, it is really very important to emphasize that we have not proposed any compulsory medical checks for senior drivers, as we sometimes hear. What we did propose is that whenever a driver's license is renewed, and that applies to any driver regardless of age, they have to undergo a self-assessment questionnaire, or alternatively, if the member state so chooses, a medical check, but this is a choice for the member states. And then the only difference for drivers above the 70 year of age is that their driver's licenses would have to be renewed every 5 years, so more often than than younger drivers. However, that would only be subject to a self-assessment questionnaire, or alternatively, if the member state so chooses, then a medical check.
So let's be absolutely crystal clear on this. The European Commission has not proposed mandatory health checks for the renewal of driver's licenses. Okay. Follow-up question on this? Mose, on this.
Yes, exactly. I also belong to that elderly category which sometimes I have to renew my driving license. And I'd be surprised that I would ask about this, why the Commission doesn't try to, in some way, to harmonize the different rules on driving licenses in the member states, especially when it comes to the renewal of driving licenses for elderly drivers. Is there any special reason for that? Thank you. Not to try to harmonize the rules for example, let's say impose mandatory test for all the drivers? Thank you.
Sorry, did I understand? You are surprised that we did not propose to harmonize, and you want to know what are the reasons for that. Did I understand your question correctly? Adalbert.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there are different systems that are already in place among member states in order to look at the health suitability of drivers. As you certainly know, health policy is very much predominantly a member state competence, and it would not be up to the European Union to overstep that competence. And so the proposal that we made builds on existing systems in the member states and does not aim to replace them. And so it was deemed completely appropriate to leave the member states the flexibility that they enjoy, while at the same time improving the amount of harmonization that is there in order to reach the common objectives.
Okay, thank you very much. I see hands raised in the platform or on the platform. Please only keep your hand raised if your question concerns this issue. All right, that is not the case. Is it on this? No? Okay, so hold on. Any other questions on transport issues for Adalbert whilst he is here? No. Thank you, Adalbert. Yeah, Maria.
Is it okay? Yesterday, hundreds of thousands of people came out in Spain to protest against amnesty law and asking the European Union to act. I know you said on Friday that you were not concerned and you would not be concerned until you know and you study the text. But I wonder, this was before the demonstration. So I wonder if you have anything else to say to the Spanish people. And I wonder if you are awaiting this text, as I guess we're going to know about it today. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Indeed, we have seen reports of the demonstrations in Spain. It is obviously not our role to comment on demonstrations, which are the free right of European citizens. And indeed, we have nothing to add. We are waiting for information based on our request that was described in the letter from Commissioner Reinders last week. Yeah.
Merci Eric. Je voudrais savoir, en cette ligne, il y avait des personnes qui, hier, ont demandé que l'Union en réponse de l'Union européenne. Qu'est-ce que l'Union européenne peut faire ou qu'est-ce que vous pouvez lui dire à ces millions de personnes qui demandent une réponse ferme, claire de l'Union européenne contre cette loi d'amnistie? Parce que il y avait beaucoup de rapports européens hier, beaucoup de personnes qui appellent à Bruxelles pour dire et pour faire quelque chose contre cette loi. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez dire? Merci.
Je crois que nous avons expliqué la semaine dernière que nous avons écrit aux autorités espagnoles précisément parce que nous avions reçu un certain nombre de commentaires venant du public et d'institutions en Espagne, de représentants d'intérêt. Et donc, il me semble que nous avons démontré que nous souhaitons obtenir de l'information de la part de l'Espagne sur un éventuel projet de loi. Permets-moi de te rappeler qu'à ma connaissance, en tout cas jusqu'au moment où je suis arrivé ici en salle de presse, il n'y avait pas de projet de loi qui avait été mis sur la table par qui que ce soit. Donc nous attendons une réponse à notre demande d'information de la part des autorités espagnoles. Y a-t-il d'autres questions sur ce sujet? Je vois une main levée dans... Non? Très bien. Nous passons alors à d'autres sujets. Oui.
Thanks very much. Alex Caddy from Feature Story News. I'd like to ask about the perhaps surprising return of David Cameron at the British government. What impact will having the Prime Minister who called for the Brexit referendum have on the working relationship between the Foreign Office and the Commission? And more generally, does the Commission look forward to welcoming Mr. Cameron back to Brussels? Thank you.
Thank you very much, but we have absolutely no comment to make on appointments to governments in third countries. Right. Let me now turn to the Interaxio platform. Nicolas, you have the floor.
Coming from Politico, my question is about HRVP Borrell's agenda. He's just announced that he would visit Israel this week. Could you maybe share some details about his program, and would it be his first visit to Israel? Thank you.
Thank you very much. As I believe I said at the outset of this meeting, there is a Foreign Affairs Council meeting taking place today, which will be followed by a press conference. And the Foreign Affairs Council is, in fact, going to discuss the situation in the Middle East. So I would invite you to ask those questions to the HRVP during that press conference. Naomi.
Thanks, Eric. Naomi O'Leary, Irish Times. My question relates to DG NEAR. It's about official development assistance. I was just wondering what you could tell us about the proposed 18 million development aid for Israel, which is due to be discussed this afternoon. My questions are, is it normal for development aid to be given to countries that have a higher GDP per capita than the EU? And also, can you explain the timing of the payment? So why would it come now? Obviously, there's a sensitive geopolitical context. So that's the reason for my question. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, Anna Pisonero is not with us today. So if you don't mind, I will come back to you. We will come back to you bilaterally on this issue. Sorry for that. There's so much choice. Ladies first, Maria.
Merci, Eric. Maria Audrescu pour la Libre Belgique. À l'appel de la Cour pénale internationale, la Belgique a décidé d'allouer 5 millions d'euros pour soutenir les efforts d'enquête sur la situation et les actions qui sont menées à Gaza. Donc je voulais savoir si la Commission ou l'Union européenne soutient ces efforts d'enquête. Comment est-ce que cela fait partie, par exemple, des discussions que vous avez avec les autorités israéliennes pour faciliter ces efforts? Merci.
Maria, je te répète la même chose que je viens de répondre. Il y a un Conseil Affaires étrangères qui a lieu aujourd'hui qui va s'intéresser au développement au Moyen-Orient et donc je t'invite à poser cette question lors de cette conférence de presse. Il n'y a rien que je puisse dire ici aujourd'hui en amont d'une conférence de presse sur un Conseil Affaires étrangères. Je suis désolé. Pardon ?
C'était juste pour savoir si du côté de la Commission, il y avait eu des annonces ou du budget qui avait été alloué à ces efforts. C'est pour ça que je me permettais de poser la question.
Je n'ai pas conscience que nous ayons fait des annonces sur ce sujet. Je t'en prie, Giovanni.
A short question, just an update, if Anita is here. No, since you have received, several days ago already, the details of the Italy-Albania agreement, I was just curious if you have new comments or you have something new to say about that, because I guess you already had the time to have an analysis on the details. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Christian is representing Anita today, so I give him the floor.
Yeah. Hi, Giovanni. Thanks for the question. I'm afraid I don't have much to add. We have indeed received the information, and we're analyzing it, and that's where we still stand.
Thank you. Let me now move to Momchil.
Good afternoon. I hope you see me.
Yes, perfectly well, Momchil. Congratulations.
Oh, wow, I'm proud.
But it's because there's bad weather in Brussels, let me tell you. If it was sunny, we would not be seeing you.
Okay. Well, I have 3 in 1. 3 in 1, that's the coffee. So last week there were a lot of information in the media about Bulgaria and the gas. So my first question is, has the European Commission taken some steps in relation to the refinery in Bulgaria. You know that we know that this refinery belongs to Lukoil, and if it is circumventing the sanctions. Second, we know that the European Commission has received a letter from Hungarian government asking for an infringement procedure against Bulgaria in connection with the tax imposed for the transfer of Russian gas to Hungary. So my question is, has the Commission taken some steps in this direction? And third question is, we know that the Commission is looking into the contract between Bulgaria and the Turkish company Botash, which was struck. The deal was struck in January. So, is there any movement in this direction?
I don't know which contract you're talking about. Sorry, I don't know what it relates to. But on the issue of the allegations related to a possible breach of sanctions in relation to Bulgaria, I'll give the floor to Dan, and then perhaps to Tim on the issues related to the two other questions.
Thanks, Eric. Hi, Momchil. My answer will be short and sweet, as I have no update compared to what I told you on Friday and I believe Thursday. We're still in contact with the Bulgarian authorities, as we are with all member states when it comes to the implementation of sanctions, but I have nothing in particular to tell you today.
Thank you. Tim, on the two other questions.
It will have to be a trio. The third question is for Leah. But on the second one, Momchil, we've answered your questions on this before, on this measure. And now I can confirm in response to your specific question about the receipt of a letter. Yes, we have received this letter last week from the Hungarian authorities. And, of course, we're assessing that and looking into it as well.
Thank you. Momchil, you're creating a ballet of spokespeople on this. Leah, for your third question.
Yes, thank you very much. I would have actually nothing to add to what was said last time. So indeed, we can only confirm that we had sent the request for information and that we are in touch with the relevant stakeholders and authorities.
David, you had a question on this? Yeah, but go ahead. I'm happy to make Tim come back. He needs the exercise, I'm sure.
Sorry, but while Tim's walking to the stage, it's also just a comment from my colleague from La Libre Belgique asked a question about the Commission's position on the conflict in Palestine. She didn't ask about the Council's position, so I felt that she did not get the answer that she was deserved from the Commission. But moving on to Tim, the gas tariff imposed by Bulgaria, it's in a law. Can you say what kind of issue is that? Because we've had Dan on the podium talking about sanctions. Is it an internal gas market, energy market issue? If it is, when could we expect a reply from the Commission settling whether Bulgaria has the right to do this and has, in its national law, imposed this gas tariff in a way which is compliant with EU law? Thanks.
Thanks, David. Yeah, I mean, I can only really repeat what I've said before on this. This is an issue which we are looking into. As you say, it's a measure in Bulgarian law. We have several Commission services which are looking at it closely and in discussion with each other. We're in touch with the parties. And when we have a next step to announce, an analysis to make, we will communicate that. But for this stage, I can't give you anything more in terms of timing and in terms of substance. We're looking at it, we're discussing internally, and we'll follow up as appropriate.
Any other questions? You have a follow-up? Oh, sorry.
So you can't give a timeline, but are there any sort of timelines that are imposed by law, the 2019, I don't know, the gas and energy legislation that we have, where there's a deadline to be met? I believe ACER should have been informed Could you confirm whether ACER has been informed of this national gas tariff? Is that compliant with EU law as well? Thanks.
In terms of contacts with ACER, I will have to check with our colleagues and get back to you. I'm not aware of any at the moment, but that doesn't mean it hasn't taken place. No.
Thank you. Any other questions for Tim on energy? That is not the case. Before we move on, let me just remind you, David, that the Commission is represented at the Foreign Affairs Council. And therefore, usually when there is a Foreign Affairs Council, we refer all questions related to foreign affairs, including on Commission positions, to that. And the HRVP who chairs the Council is HR, so High Representative and Vice President of the Commission as well. Any other issues for us today? That is, yes, Mose.
Okay, thanks again, Eric. I just would like to ask for an update of the state of play in those two self-initiated inquiries by European Commission, which she launched, last summer. To the extent it concerns also European Commission, because in one inquiry she asked, let's say, Frontex some questions about its rescue operations in the Mediterranean Sea. And there the deadline was end of September, and I suppose that maybe also the Commission was asked to contribute with explanations. And then you have the other inquiry, which was also launched last summer, and that concerns, as you know, the EU-Tunisia memorandum of understanding. And there, the Ombudsman wanted to know more about the Commission addressed human rights issues in that memorandum. But I don't remember there was any deadline for the Commission's reply to that. Maybe have an update of where we stand in these two inquiries. Thank you.
No, I don't have updates that I can provide on your questions related to an investigation. We'll need to check and come back to you. Okay. Anything else for us today? That is not the case. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.